Hi and welcome to our tutorial for me to show you how to make a keyring pocket heart. This is our pocket hug kit, and these are quite popular at the moment, especially with the pandemic and the restrictions in place, that people aren't able to see each other, so they've been making various little items to send through the post so that special someone knows that you're thinking of them. Okay, so what I'm going to do in this tutorial is go through how to make our heart pocket hug, which is a kit that's available on our website, and you'll have the link to this tutorial so that you can go through it step by step. Okay, I hope you enjoy it and I'll see you at the other side. Right, for this tutorial you will need 9 lengths of your macrame cord, and I'm using the 3mm 3-ply cord. You can use single twist cord if you wanted to. This is just my cord of preference for this. And then I've also got the key ring and the carabiner clip that we can add on if you want to later. You'll also need a pair of scissors, and you will also need something to hold your work whilst you are making your heart. Now, I tend to use a cork board with pins so I can pin my work in place, or you can use a board with a bulldog clip, but just something to hold your work securely so it's not moving around whilst you're working. Okay, so for the first part of our design, we are going to make the first half of our heart. Okay, so we're going to be making this round bit here, and we're going to be making the first 3 inner lines. Okay, then we'll make a second half and then we'll join them together. So to make the first half, you are going to use one of your chords, which is going to be a filler chord. So the filler chord means that it's going to have the knots wrapped around it. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to make like a corner, sort of just about halfway. Okay, maybe just maybe more 2/3. So I've got about 30 centimeters this side, and then I've got 60 centimeters that side. Okay, so I'm going to make my corner, and I'm just going to pin that in place there. Okay, because that's going to hold that in place whilst I'm attaching the other chords. So there's my first filler chord. Now I'm going to take another one of my chords. This is going to be a working chord, and I'm going to attach it with a lark's head knot. So I'm just going to pop it underneath my cord. So I've folded it in half underneath my cord, take the centre 2 chords through. Okay, and then I want to pull them so that the knot then meets the cord. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the right hand working cord, and I'm going to make a half hitch knot now. Okay, so I'm going to take this over the filler cord, and then I'm going to bring it through the loop. Okay, so I've gone over the filler cord and then under through the loop. So that makes another knot on my cord. Then pull that back straight. And then I'm going to do the same with this cord. So take it over your filler cord, then bring it underneath and through the loop. Okay, to make that half hitch knot. And there we go. Okay, so I've attached my first chord to my filler cord. I'm now going to repeat that with another 2 chords. So here's the first one. So I'm folding it in half. Okay, fold it in half before I do it. Then under, bring the cords through, pull it so it's nice and tight against the filler cord, and then make a half hitch knot to the right, and then with the left over, under and through, make a half hitch knot there. Okay, so now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 knots on my filler cord. Okay, and I'm going to do that with one more, so that I will have used 3 cords. Okay, make a lark's head knot, pull them so they're tight. Okay, half hitch, so over, under and through. Okay, now I'm just going to be careful I don't get it caught around my pin that I've used to hold it in place. And then with this side, there we go. And then I can push those all together. Okay, so I've attached 3 of my cords now to my filler cord. And now I'm just going to remove that pin, because what we want to do now is we want to bend this again to make my corner visible again. Okay, so imagine this is going to be the first half of the heart. Okay, so this bit here now is this bit here, just this top rounded part of the heart. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've got my cords there. I'm just going to put that pin in place there, and then we don't need these first 2 to begin with, so I'm just going to pin them out of the way, but just so my cords are out of the way, but so I've still got the corner shape, you know, like the bent bit. Okay, so that was my filler cord. Those first 2 working cords I put out the way. Now I'm going to use the third, so the 1, 2, the third from the right, and this is now going to become a filler cord. Okay, so I'm going to place that over my other 3 cords, and I'm going to be making double hitch knots on this filler cord. So to do that, okay, I'm going to hold this in my left hand, okay, and I'm going to make a half hitch knot. So I'm going to go over, then under and through the loop. Okay, and then I pull that nice and tight. I'm going to push it up there. So that's half a hitch knot, and then I'm going to do that again. Okay, and that completes a double hitch knot. Okay, we'll be doing lots of wiggling these around once we've done. Okay, so that's the first double hitch knot done. So now I can put that cord over there because I don't need it. All right, so now I'm going to take my second working cord along, over the top, under and through the loop. Okay, there we go. Push them up so that they're all nice and neat. And then again. Okay, so there's my second double hitch knot. And then I'm going to repeat it with my third cord. Okay. It's all about holding it steady and pulling it up and making sure it's all nice and tight together. There we go, that's better. which is why it's a good idea to have a cork board or a bulldog clip or something to hold the chords together. There we go. Okay, so now you can see I've got a row of double hitch knots. Okay, so I haven't got any more working chords to go, so those two are going to lie there to the left. Okay, that was my original filler chord. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chords lying over to the right. I'll move that pin out of the way. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take not the first working chord, but the second working chord over to the left, because this is going to be my next filler chord. I'm just going to move those out the way there. Okay, in fact I might put another one in there just to secure that corner in place. Okay, and now I'm going to make another row of double hitch knots. Okay, so push them nice and tight up there. There we go. That's one done. That's another one done. Half, and that's another double done. And you're probably getting the idea of how this works now. There's another half hitch knot, because I'm making sure that these rows are all nice, quite tight together. And there we go. Okay, so now I've got 3 chords lying to the left, and I've got 4 chords lying to the right, but I'm going to take this last working chord now. So here's our corner still visible. Okay, I'm going to put that in place there. And I'm going to make my last row of double hitch knots with this chord. Okay. Again, making sure that they're all nicely pushed together tightly. It just makes them nice and neat. And it makes it look neat when it's all finished, so you haven't got lots of holes or gaps in your heart. And the last one for this half. There we go. Okay, so now what you can see is what you should have for the first half of your heart. You should have something that looks like that now. So you've got that, the outer edge, okay, which was our original knots onto the filler chord. Now we've made 1, 2, 3 rows of double hitch knots. That is going to be the 1 half of our heart. Now what you need to do is you need to do that again to make the other half, and I will meet you back and we will put them together. Okay, so what you will have now is you will have the 2 halves of your heart, and what we are going to do is we are going to join them together, okay, and then we are going to continue the diagonal rows of double hitch knots. But to join them together, you're going to put them together and you're going to take the center 2 chords. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop those up there for now, so I know that I'm going to keep those out of the way. Okay, and here I'm going to hold my two halves together. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create the little chain loop that is going to have our ring held onto it. Okay, and to do this, I personally prefer to do this upside down. Okay, if you want to do it the right way, that's absolutely fine, but I personally find it easier to do this upside down. And again, I'm just going to put a couple of pins in there to hold that in place. Okay, so I've got my heart together. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few half hitch knots. Okay, so I'm going to go over, I'm going to start with my right chord, I'm going to go over the chord in my left hand, under and through the loop. Okay, and this is where you want to pull them again quite tight. Make sure you've pulled them to secure them. Okay. There we go. And there's one half hitch knot. But then I'm going to make another half hitch knot with the left hand chord. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to make another one again with the right hand chord. Then the left hand chord. And I'm going to do another one with the right hand chord. And I'm going to do another one with the left hand chord. Okay, so now I've got my little bit that's going to make a loop to hold my ring on. Now this is where we put this in place. Okay, so what I do is I'm just going to pop that through there, and then this, we're going to join these two back to the main heart. Okay, so if I just move my pins out so I'm not getting tangled up. There we go. So now I'm going to lift this over here, and it's going to, these two are going to go back in the centre. Okay, like that. But then, if I show you by turning it round again, okay, we lie these all flat. But then these chords are at the front at the moment. I don't want them at the front. I want to tuck that one behind so it lies at the bottom of the heart. Can you see that? Okay. So at the moment, this chord is still over at the front, whereas I've just tucked this one behind. Okay, so I'm going to do that with this one. Just tuck it behind the heart. There we go. So it's in place. Okay, and then I'm going to cross these two. Okay, and once again, I'm just going to shuffle it all back together. It does take a bit of shuffling, this one, to make sure it's all in the right place. Because what you can see is going to happen is we've crossed these two centre chords over now. So this one is going to continue as the filler for this row. Okay, so this is going to be, so we've got 1, 2, 3 from the left. This is going to be our fourth, and then we'll carry on with 5, 6, 7. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, now I've got it back where I want it. You can shuffle them up so it's all nice and tight. I'm just going to put some pins in place again to make sure it stays where I want it to be. Okay, put that one there. There we go. You can shuffle pins around as you need to, and you can either put them through the chord, because it doesn't matter, we're going to be taking them out, or you can just put them around as long as it's secured. Okay, right, so now I'm going to hold this chord in my left hand, which is going to be the filler chord now, and the first right hand one I'm going to make a hitch knot. Now it's quite important here that you do shuffle this up and make sure it's tucked right in, because otherwise you'll end up with a hole, a gap in the top of your heart. Okay, now I'm going to carry on with the next one, and we're just going to continue making the double hitch knots as we did previously, but we're just joining all this together now to make the heart secure. Okay, so that's that one done. Take the next one. Okay, and one more for this side. There we go. Okay, and now that filler chord I'm just going to leave there to the left. Okay, now get these back. There we go. So now we've done that one, so now I'm going to take this chord here, and again I'm just going to give it a wiggle, make sure it's all nice and tight enough. Okay, and I'm going to now make, this is going to become a filler chord, and we're going to make 4 more double hitch knots. So 1, and again just make sure, put down, pull them as tight as they go without making them look too taut and out of shape. Okay, next one. There we go. Another one. Again, you've probably got the gist of what's going on now. Okay, now I'm going to carry on. So I'm just going to repeat this now. So I've got 2 more left to do. So this is going to be the filler chord for this row, and then when I've done that, this will be the filler chord for the last row of double hitch knots. So I'll do that and I'll meet you when we're ready to finish it off.